Obviously, the story. Well, first thing, couple things. Number one, the college basketball season gets underway. Duke, Kansas, Michigan State, Kentucky, and a zillion other games. So the college basketball season is upon us on this 5th of November. I remember when it used to start Thanksgiving weekend. Now it starts as soon as November starts. So it's amazing how much these seasons collide now. It is a very different story. They've elongated all of these seasons. Plus, the college games now dot every night. There's all kinds of MAC games and everything every night if you care about college football once you get to November. So there's actually more to watch. There's football on every day of the week pretty much now through New Year's. Last night, the Giants at least fought, and some of their players literally fought, like Hernandez, who wanted to fight everybody in the building. But the Giants continued to make the same mistakes. They got off well. Obviously, Dallas made a lot of mistakes early in the game. The turnover to start the game, drop balls, big mistakes early in the game. The Giants got a lead, but the Giants dissipated that lead in 50 seconds with some bad decision-making right before the half. The Cowboys went in leading 13-12 when they hadn't played well, and you knew what the second half was going to bring, and it did. The Cowboys outscored them 21-3 in the fourth quarter and went on to a 37-18 win. The Giants continue to make the same mistakes all the time. Number one, their secondary gives up enormous plays to every opponent. Huge chunks, huge pass plays, bad decision-making, bad coverage, broken coverages. Every single game it is the same. Cowboys made a couple of big plays, two specifically. One to the tight end as Dak rolled out, hit the backup tight end for a touchdown. There was nobody there on that one. And then, of course, the deep cross with Amari Cooper that kind of sealed the deal later in the game. But there was some things that you really don't like as you get towards the Inept Bowl here. And that's what we have this Sunday. Finally, the Jets and the Giants, a game that has a lot of danger for both head coaches. We'll get to that later in the week. But the Giants come in now at 2-7. Jets go in at 1-7. Giants have lost 5 straight games since they were 2-2 and puffing out their chest when really they should have been 1-3. We know about the Tampa game. They've really beat one legitimate opponent this year, and that's the Redskins, who might be the worst team in the league. We'll decide that in the next couple of weeks. But there's some things you really didn't like. Number one, despite making some good throws, which he does every week, Daniel Jones continues to have an enormous problem with ball security. There's 2 things about him you worry about. Number one, he doesn't feel the rush at all. Number 2, he turns the ball over repeatedly. He has been a fumbler since we first set eyes on him. He is a fumbler. Some guys are fumblers for their careers, okay? He is a major, major fumbler. That is a big problem and something that has to be corrected. He fumbles when he doesn't even get hit. So there are huge ball security problems with Jones, and he's turning the ball over way too much. You can talk about, well, he's a rookie, he's going to turn the ball over, but he's got to stop turning the ball over, okay? Because you just can't repeatedly turn the ball over and give up huge, huge momentum-changing plays in the middle of the field and give up scores and give up field position like he's doing. Number 2, and this is even a bigger problem, they've made Barkley look ordinary. He does not look like the same player. Maybe he rushed back from his injury, but he has shown weakness on blitz pickup. They don't even want him in a game all the time on blitz pickup. And number 2, you're seeing now teams contain him completely in the run game. He wasn't even a little bit of a factor in the run game last night. Not even a little bit of a factor, and that has got to concern you. I mean, you don't expect to see games when he gets, 14 carries for 28 yards, with his long being 8 yards. He's got a little Barry Sanders in him where you might go 1, 2, -1, 56, and that's how Sanders was. He's not a guy who's going to get, like Elliott is going to get 4, 5, 4, 5, 21, 19, 4, 5. He's more of a home run hit, big play guy, negative play guy. I understand that. But the point is, right now you're not getting any big plays, and you're getting a lot of 1s and 2s, and you're seeing him look rather ordinary, which is something I didn't even think this inept Giant team could do, make Barkley look ordinary. But he's starting to look ordinary. He had 1 play in the game last night, the 1 pass play for 65 yards. Otherwise, he had nothing in the game last night, and running the ball 14 times for 28 yards. The Giants, the best thing you could say about them last night is they played hard. They tried, They played hard. That's also the worst thing you can say about them because they're not getting any better. And the coach goes in the press conference and says, well, we got to stop these mistakes. He's been saying that now all season. They are now 2-7. They really have beaten one legitimate team, and that's the Redskins, who are terrible. The Tampa game, they should have lost. Guy misses a chip shot field goal. Otherwise, they are 1-8. They don't even look competitive against a lot of teams, and they're giving up chunk plays all over the field, and their offensive line can be sieve-like at times, despite the fact they put a lot of money into that offensive line. It's not doing the job, especially the tackles. So you don't like a lot of things you see. You do like some of the fight. Jones, as we said, when he has time and he can be in the pocket, and he's shown good mobility. That's, I think, the thing that's been the biggest surprise about him is he can run. But he can still make throws. You've seen that. But he's also making a ton of mistakes. And Barkley has really taken a step back this year. And some of that's on him. Maybe some of it's on the injury. Some of it might be on coaching. But you don't like any of it because this was a special player who last year, every step of the way, looked like a special player. And he doesn't look like a special player now a lot of the time. And that's something that has to concern you. The Giants are playing kids and guys who shouldn't be playing on defense. On offense, the Giants have a lot of talent, and they're not performing. There's a big difference. They're getting killed by up-and-down offensive line play. They're getting killed by mistakes. They're getting killed by play calling. On defense, they're playing kids who, like Baker, who are struggling. They're playing guys who are trying to learn at different positions. They're not real strong at certain positions. So you can explain away some of and some of it's technique and some of it's bad coverage and missed tackles, but they also have a lack of talent on defense. On offense, it's not a lack of talent. It's a lack of fundamentals. It's too many mistakes. It's cohesive. It's efficiency. That's the stuff that's holding back the offense. And instead, what you have is a team that shows up in the Jet game this week in the Inept Bowl. The Jets and the Giants got here as badly as they possibly could. And now one of them is going to come out a winner, and the other one is going to hit even a lower low. Which one? We'll see how the week progresses. Enjoy your morning. We'll see you at 3 o'clock this afternoon.